Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Game on Cloud 9 here, and I'm here to bring you guys a new One Piece manga 697 prediction. And in this week's new chapter of One Piece 696, it's pretty much a really dialogue heavy chapter that's wrapping up everything in Punk Hazard that we've seen and getting ready to transition us into the next particular arc of One Piece. Now, just starting off and giving a quick synopsis of this week's chapter, the main important things that I would say that happened was, of course, Kinemon. We see he's not dead. I mean, I pretty much knew he couldn't have died because I'm looking like, okay, you're looking at like how he wanted to save his son and just the type of character that he comes off as, more of a comical relief character. Although he is pretty strong and pretty cool, I do like Kinemon and I do hope he joins the Straw Hats. But I just didn't get that vibe that Kinemon was dead. I knew there had to be some way, shape, or form that he was actually going to survive that particular gas that he got covered with. And of course, we all saw that after they messed with Caesar Clown and pretty much was able to squeeze the information out of him, they were actually able to save everybody that was covered by the gas, that all their comrades, including, of course, Kinemon, and were able to return them to their normal forms. So, that was also really nice, especially when Kinemon, you saw him reunite with his son. That was a really touching moment. And probably another part of the chapter that, of course, is worth mentioning is we all know the kids were all taken in by the Marines. Nami pretty much let them go and sent them off with the Marines. So the Marines are going to be returning them back into their homes, and they're all going to be safe. So that end of the Punk Hazard arc is pretty much over. I don't really see. I mean, personally, I don't really see a big purpose on why the kids were in this arc. When I really look at it, I mean, I understand. Okay, they needed experiments and all that, but I don't know. I kind of felt like they were just a way to fill the gap of time in this arc. I mean, personally, I mean, they're cool and all. And, it's a sad story, but I mean, other than Kinemon and maybe his son, I can't really see anybody else, like all those other random kids, really having a big purpose. Even now, especially with this arc coming to a close now. But that's just me. But of course, the other part of the chapter that was also important was when we seen, well, maybe not really important, but every One Piece, like it seems like in a lot of One Piece arcs, whenever it comes to a close, they always have a party, and it's funny to see Law's expression. Law's all shocked when Luffy's like, "Yeah, let's have a party," because Law's pretty much in the mindset like, we can't stick around here or whatnot. We have to go ahead and get out of here, and Luffy's just like, "Yeah, okay, whatever," and of course, we all know Luffy. He's partying, but in a sense, I kind of want Luffy to be caught off guard one day by that. Like, try to have a party, and maybe some pirate runs up and it's just like, "Oh no, you're not having a party. This is New World." Like, because that I guess that's my only problem right now with the Punk Hazard arc is I feel as though, and I know a lot of you guys out here may not like what I say, and and it's not to say that this won't change because I do believe that Oda will step his game up on this end, but right now I don't feel like we're in New World. I really don't. Like, that's why I always talk about with the Film Z movie. I felt like that was New World, but I feel like right now we're still in Paradise because Luffy pretty much beat Caesar Clown, fairly easily. I mean, if some people say, "Oh, he knocked him out one time," but I mean, really, I mean, of all the arcs Luffy's been in, he's always had a struggle. At least the first time he fought an opponent, so that's not a big surprise to me. And then for him to knock out Caesar Clown easily with one hit, I mean, that was kind of, I don't know. I didn't really like that too much. I mean, personally, but I kind of feel like right now, I mean, we need to feel that sense of danger. I mean, we really need to feel that. So I mean, I don't mind. I mean, it was a nice ending, seeing them party. I mean, it's One Piece. It's usually like that. But I mean, I kind of feel as though that there should have been, so, like, there should be a little bit something more to this particular ending. Especially with them all just kick back having fun. There should be a little bit more fear instilled in the Straw. Maybe not fear, but a little, like, they should be on their toes a little bit more. At least in New World, I would think. I mean, we had Zoro mention it once in this arc, but I just feel like we're not getting that right now. Now, on to the next part, of course. I should say the last part, the most important part. Of course, we finally find out, we have a little flashback, and we see now what Luffy pretty much was saying to Law in the middle of the arc. The one thing that we all wanted to know so badly. Of course, a little bit about what the plan is. And pretty much we know that, of course, the four emperors, we know that the main emperor that Luffy and them are going after is Kaido, which, honestly, I mean, I'm really excited to see Kaido. So right now, you think about it, Luffy's getting ready to take on two emperors in the next couple arcs because we have, of course, Big Mom that eventually is going to be running after him, getting ready to try to take him down, and then on top of that, now Kaido's, they're getting ready to try to take out Kaido, Law, and Luffy, and I like that, I mean, because that's actually getting me hyped up for the new world now that we know we have these big tier characters that Luffy's aiming for. Not only that, but we even know Luffy now wants to fight against all four of the Yonko. So I mean, hey, because I mean, I was thinking, oh, Luffy's not going to want to go ahead and fight against Shanks. There's no way because him and Shanks have been on this journey. But Luffy's actually up for that. He was saying, oh, he was actually thinking Shanks was going to be first. But then now we see, of course, Kaido or Big Man, either one of them is going to be first. And obviously, we all know Blackbeard's probably going to be last, maybe the final villain. Some people project, or Oda could throw us a plot twist to be some other character, which I think it's a bit early in the game to actually tell. So we probably will get a plot twist here or there. Maybe he'll be one of the final villains, but not the final. And then right now we got Doflamingo on the way. So now I'm getting kind of hyped up for New World that we got all these characters that seem pretty powerful that we're of course gonna see down the line that Luffy and them are gonna get into. But as for Punk Hazard right now, I mean, I feel as though again there should be a higher sense of danger than what we have right now, regardless if it's one of the first islands in New World or not. But hey, I'm cutting some slack because I'm looking like, man, there's a lot of potential, a lot of different things that are going to be going on in the future, so I'm getting excited. Now, as for my prediction, now I know there was that guy sitting in the water that we saw in the previous chapter. Still don't really have a good idea on who that is yet. I've been trying to think of theories or something like, okay, you know, um, I'm like, I'm still thinking maybe it could be somebody that actually had the, like, maybe listened to the message that about like from Caesar Clown about the whole gas or the weapon, and maybe they heard about the weapon, so they were on their way. And I've seen some other things people have mentioned here or there, but it's still a pretty hard guess actually, because I can't really think of who would be aiming directly for Punk Hazard. I mean, it could be Kid for all we know, and the reason why I say Kid is because we all know Kid and Luffy, they seem kind of like I mean, maybe, well, I would say Kid more so Luffy, like he has a problem with Luffy, and we know Kid's been causing trouble in New World, so there is always that chance that Kid could actually be one of the people heading over to the island, which if it is, I'm excited for that too, because Kid, I want to see Luffy versus Kid at least once. I mean, Kid had a problem with Luffy, Kid was all about bounties and whatnot, so seeing them face off a little bit and have a good fight in New World definitely would be a good way to kick off things. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think maybe it could be Kid, that maybe he's on his way to Punk Hazard somehow? Do you think there's a good chance of that? And if you don't, then that's fine too. If you have any other particular characters that you think may be on their way to Punk Hazard as well, then let me know. But as for next chapter, I do think that the Yonko, well, not the Yonko, but I do think, hey, maybe we'll even get a flash over to Kaido and maybe, actually see who he is. I doubt it, but there's always that chance, now, especially now that he's been mentioned a little bit. I do expect that Oda's probably gonna, at least let us see what he looks like or whatnot. And I'm hoping that next arc, I'm thinking it may actually focus on the Wano Kuni Island. Since Kinemon's there, we never know that they may actually take Kinemon back home, which I'll be excited if it's Wano Kuni. I mean, I'm loving what Oda's doing at this current moment. I wasn't a big fan of Punk Hazard, but I am looking forward to a lot of other stuff that's going on. So, if I were to give like some type of rating for this chapter, which I may just start doing that, I would say this chapter was probably, I give it a 7 out of 10. The cliffhanger definitely was really good. 7 out of 10, maybe 8 out of 10. I'm conflicted on that. But definitely a good chapter of One Piece, and definitely am looking forward to next week's chapter of One Piece. The flow was pretty nice, and like except for I had a problem. I mean, sometimes I feel like, and I know One Piece has a lot of comedy in general, but sometimes I feel like some of it should be condensed down, and like some of it should, like, it should move on a little bit quicker than it is. So I mean, that's why I feel the way I do as far as if you guys think about sometimes when I talk about, I feel like the pacing's a bit slow. I feel like the pacing, was a bit slow in this chapter, but I accept it because the cliffhanger really made it, made the chapter for me. And, it started off on a decent note. So, yeah, I think this was a decent chapter of One Piece, and I definitely am looking forward to future chapters of One Piece. But anyway, if you guys like this video, please don't forget to rate it. So if you like it, please put a thumbs up. And if you didn't like it, you guys can put a thumbs down if you want to. The choice is yours. Also, don't forget to go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more of my videos like One Piece. Of course, I also do Naruto and Bleach. And if you like Dead Man Wonderland and you want to see Dead Man Wonderland reviews as far as the manga goes, as soon as the manga comes back, I will be reviewing that as well as Legend of Korra when that show comes back and you have season 2. But anyway, thank you for watching this video, and I will see you guys later.